And notice this, children or youth or just anyone. See, one thing about Noscafundum, Claudio Nocelli, you'll notice, as I just realized, he doesn't do what the others do. He doesn't say, I'm. You saying? He never comes on and says, I'm a this, I'm a this, I'm a this. And now it's always this unattainable, untraceable, in a sense, no way to like to verify whether it's true. Like I'm a medium, I'm this or that. And that's why some of those Sasquatch channels had to let go because they're trying to lie about spinning planets. Okay. And that's the thing about this stuff. That's the thing about this stuff. We know there's no possibility for the spinning planets and galaxies. That's the thing. So it doesn't matter which map is exactly right now. We don't know, but they all have consensus. We all know. But the thing is about I assume all 366 universes are stable and flat, and that's the thing you got to realize. Because now with their narrative, it's like anything that reaches us must be superior. Why? Because it flew out from some strange, some outer space. We don't really know how to operate except to get to the moon. They say, you get what I'm saying? But I can't think of this guy's name. But this custodian looks awfully like those demons that was hanging out with the Pope. I know it's African descent man. I think I remember from it, but I can't think of his name. That's probably because I shouldn't on TikTok. Remember, he showed us the Pope with creatures, very tall creatures that had that kind of skin. I mean, they like this looks like a demon. That's exactly what they didn't look too far from this. So custodian is probably just another word for demon, as is Anunnaki reptilian. Like I said, I got my buddy reptilian without the slit, without the slit eyes. That's wearing a button-up shirt that just wants to, needs a proper cup of coffee or something, whatnot. Okay, but that's how you tell children. Those that have to, understand before, because this is the pattern. They have to give themselves some clout and notoriety themselves. They say, "I'm this, I'm this, I'm this," and that's why I can see it coming now. Then they start talking about planets, non-existing, impossible to exist, spinning planets. But this is where we're at. David Icke, Theoria, Apophasis, Seventh Fire Messenger, even Jonathan Kutamaza. Who else? You understand? That's one thing we'll come back to Awakening Leela, Melissa Arson of London. She says trees are the original portals. So yeah, I ain't going through a portal that a benevolent, non-deer killing. I mean, like they don't have to. I'm not picking on the ones that do. I haven't stopped eating the flesh either, guys. I get it. I'm not picking on the other Sasquatch, but the Sasquatches that hang out with deer instead of breaking their necks for survival. And we get it. Winter, decay of carbon, we get it. That's one thing Claudio Nocelli might want to catch up with us on. It's about density. This is a density we'll be able to transition in and out of, Claudio Nocelli. The trap is this density. Somehow we consented to being trapped in this decay of carbon density, and that's the problem. So the thing is, with everything outside the walls, it's still in 3D. It seems like the carbon decaying density, okay? And it makes sense. The original human's etheric. We got to get to that. Well, Claudio Nocelli can incorporate some things too. That's the thing. This is what the autistic don't understand. Once something's canceled out, it's canceled out forever. And split second, you move on. That's why we're not trying to be special. But once something's annihilated, that's what thinking is. Then it's gone forever, and you move on, and you do it very quickly. It's instantaneously. Okay? So we've got many things. That's okay. Like, do I have to go to David Icke's channel every day? I don't know. Why won't David Icke join us? Has Theoria Apophasis joined us? Huh? Has Seventh Fire Messenger joined us? He may have. That's what I have the most outlook for. But this thing with David, we're stepping on your clout toes because somebody out of nowhere, some child that doesn't promote themselves, doesn't care about social media. He's from another generation of 8 tracks, and he's seen all this development. See, we know how quickly things can and do change. So when we say that the human was reset in 1728, Generation X has already lived a life of such extreme change where our generation is basically cold if you don't become part of the AI. If you don't just concede to AI and, hey, this is the way it's going to be, we're going to get you employed, and if you don't agree, you die. Just like the Rockefeller told Andy Russo or whatever that guy was. Okay, yeah, we're gonna get the chip in them, and if they don't concede, well, we'll just cut that chip off and they die. That's when you have to deal with digital fictional monopoly money and concede. Okay, no way. You can't traffic children by raw goods. You're not gonna come and barter with it's gonna be it's gonna make it so much harder. You know what I'm saying? You have to barter a lot of physical carrying material There's a barn of grain to traffic his children. You know what I'm saying? Here's a herd of cattle. Whatever it is, it's so precious to the human. Okay, the actual gold, the minerals are too heavy. You represent it in digits in fiction, then you can get a lot of evil going on. So that's supposed to be a custodian, and that looks so much like those. Someone look. I don't know which pope it was. It was a former pope, one of them skinnier ones. That was hanging out at one of those cathedrals or temples. Blood sacrifice. A temple is a place to blood sacrifice. Y'all just say temple like that's a good thing. Like, you understand? That's the point of a temple, is for blood sacrifice. Something is for collecting blood sacrifice. That's what a temple is in all cultures. Okay. If they're calling it something else, like maybe there's a culture that, well, you're calling it by the wrong name, because the temple, that's the origin of temple, and that's what a temple is. Okay. So if you're doing something else in a building you want to call it a temple, then don't call it temple. A temple is a place to blood sacrifice, collect the blood. Okay. We got it. It's not that complicated. So can we join? Okay. David Icke, any day now. There we go. You see, can you not read? David Icke, can you not read? This is where we are. Oh yeah. Actor Neil deGrasse Tyson, this is where we are. Okay. Theoria Apophasis, this is where we are. Seventh Fire Messenger, this is where we are. Okay. It doesn't. We know the other is absolutely impossible to be spinning. And that's what we got to realize about reality. Reality is flat, not on some magical arc or something. Everything's moving, oscillating, vibrating, but everything isn't hurling around where you're vulnerable to a meteor or some entity at any time getting caught up in your gravity, and being sucked in, or like travel from great distances, making them superior to come in and attack you or control you. No, that's what's important about studying some of this. Reality has pockets. You understand? Flat, plain sections of reality that contain their own reality. They either protects and or makes them vulnerable to other aspects of reality. That's again, as I say, that's your only safety. That's why we're actually safe in the matrix city of roads and grids, because we have pockets. We're in a flat plane where others got to reach us, and most of reality is out there in the woods with the trees, and they ain't worried about us. You understand? We're on some little thin grids, eating government subsidies that they're now destroying. Okay. That's why agriculture isn't natural. Once something else controls the food, you have no control in this 3D density. But remember, Claudio Selly might, he can catch up on this. It's an error to not consider water the only technology in the 3D. And the 3D decaying carbon density, it's quite erroneous to not consider that water is the only technology, and that the Ancestral Republic and everyone else is not actually doing the exact, let's say right thing, or the proper efficient thing to overcome the parasite. To overcome a parasite, we have to stop feeding the parasite. And what else could that look like? Does that look like superiority? I don't care how big your domed world is. Just something to consider, okay? Just something to consider. Because we actually have real life pictures of creatures that look almost identical to this, okay? And as long as Claudio gets me the information I need, I ain't got that illusion. The one I hate that I remember of is Cryptus Canada, because she has mentioned nothing about not spinning globe. Something's happened. She just makes sure she never starts her little her little presentation with that long distance from that fictional globe on the on the Google Maps. I just noticed that. So all you Sasquatch reporters that won't concede to reality and think you can still lie to our children about spinning planets while trying to expose them to the truth of the benevolent or mean Sasquatch, where the benevolent definitely have human DNA, I would not trust a portal that a benevolent Sasquatch hasn't led you to. And Alyssa Arson, says trees are the original portals. And that's something that like David Madgy's going to realize. And anybody, even, I'm sorry, dear Austrian, just marvelous person, you can't sit on your laurels and think because you're not being attacked, you're superior. or entitled, okay? Because true living souls, like I would say, Melissa Arson, maybe more, regardless of what she's done, is more of a living soul than the others I've encountered. Because she's under, she not only is she being mimicked, I have, I have clear copy of that, trying to talk to her on Skype, and Dolly Daydream it would have to be her. It'd have to be. I don't know. I'm not certain, so I just can't. But she looked down, so you can't see her eyes, mimicking her on her own account. Her account's locked up, her channel, you know what I'm saying? Her actual bank account's seized. That's what a real living soul would experience. Massive interference. Massive interference. Do you understand, Devin and Madgy? Huh? That not eating the flesh made him ill. If anything made David Madgy ill, it was his illusion that he was special. And you get to sit on Turtle Island during their Holocaust, almost erased, and just like, oh, I'll fly you out over here, and you can fly over here. My daddy left me some illusion. Huh? Yeah, there's certain videos you have to see. I'd see like that woman come in. I don't know, like the ones that are deleted, like, hey, have you been in the bank today? And his reaction was like, just, I don't know what it was so strange, like, and you had to stop the video. Okay, but why were you saying? We only see what we need to see, and that's why we see it. And that's what you understand about some of this. We don't go searching. We get a little glimpse of something we didn't want to know, and now we know it, and now we're stuck with it. So Theoria, Apophasis, David Icke, and the rest, and of course, acting under our Tasha ain't going to join us for nothing. The children are waiting, and we're not lying to them anymore.